Hello everybody, the Lawn Gnome is here.
Holy shit.
So today we're going to be talking about a movie that recently premiered on Netflix, and I gotta tell you, I had no idea that this movie was even being released. Now, some of you who have been watching my channel for quite a while know that I am a huge music fan, and just in case you're new to my channel, welcome, I am a big music fan. Being told at the last minute that there was a Netflix music biopic premiering based around one of the most outrageous and notorious bands in all of hard rock and heavy metal, Motley Crue. This movie was called The Dirt, based around the legacy of this band. Oh my god, you know that I was so interested in seeing this one, especially considering the fact that I am on such a music biopic kick, from Bohemian Rhapsody to Straight Outta Compton and highly anticipating Rocket Man, which is the biopic of Elton John starring Taron Egerton. Finding out that there was a movie about Motley Crue was definitely something that I wanted to see. So I definitely will admit that I am not the biggest Motley Crue fan, but I am definitely someone who appreciates them, knows that they are one of the greats, and of course they are the true definition of sex, drugs, and rock and roll. So of course I was really excited to see the story of Nikki Sixx, Mick Mars, Vince Neil, and Tommy Lee. And what I got was not what I wanted to receive, because there were so many things about this movie that just didn't hit the mark for me, and it really made me sad because of the fact that I love music biopics, and especially considering the fact that these guys are true legends, especially considering some of the most craziest things that they have done, as well as some of the biggest tragedies in all of rock and roll history that revolve around these guys. I really thought that Netflix would have done these guys a little bit more justice. But anyway, there still is a couple of really cool things in this movie. First of all, the cast is not bad. You got Douglas Booth, who plays Nikki Sixx. He was in the Russell Crowe film Noah. You also have the actor whose name I am not going to mention because I know I'm going to butcher it, but he plays Ramsay Bolton in Game of Thrones, and he played Mick Mars. And we also have Machine Gun Kelly, who played Tommy Lee, and I would probably think that he was the most dynamic out of the entire cast. We even have Pete Davidson as the guy who signed them from Elektra Records. Also, it was great to see some of the most well-known songs from Motley Crue being captured on this film, like Girls, 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 Kickstart My Heart, Home Sweet Home, Livewire, we got them all. Also seeing some of the greatest names of the time in music being at least mentioned or even featured. There's a point in this movie where these guys are hanging out at a pool and they're with the great himself, the Prince of Darkness, Ozzy Osbourne, and he shows them just how crazy being a rock star and having the rock star life can be. There's even an actor that plays David Lee Roth, and that was also really cool to see Van Halen represented in this movie too. Also, just seeing them play the concerts was also really cool because you also saw all the things that make them legends, like the motorcycles out on stage, Tommy Lee's levitating and revolving upside down drum kit. That is always cool to see. And also just seeing the whole scene of the 80s unfold in the world of hard rock and heavy metal. But I do feel that even though those are great, there is also a great deal lacking. One of the things I did not like about this film was just how inaccurate this movie was. There are some moments in this film that are very important to see, especially when it comes to some of the tragedies. But because of the fact that this movie is just subpar, some of those tragic moments just, you don't connect with them. And that's another thing that this movie truly lacks. The characters really are hard to connect with, and you don't really get the kind of screen time that you would want. So when the truly emotional moments hit, especially the ones that revolved around Vince Neil, you're just a little upset over the fact that you're just not feeling for this guy. But then again, to the film's credit, the fact that Motley Crue pretty much was in the peak of their career high, the fact that some of these moments are not accurate, could have probably described the fact that these guys were basically in a massive acid trip or drunken stupor, so certain things that they might have experienced may not have gone the way they thought that they did, or some of those things actually did, but they wouldn't even realize it. There's also a great deal of meta moments. Basically, the cast members individually break away at certain points in time, and you actually have them talking to you and breaking the fourth wall. Now, I gotta say, to the film's credit, that's very innovative. It was also a great way to give these guys a great deal of equal screen time, which of course is respectable, but because of the fact that they do those things, it pretty much takes away from what you really want this movie to be. And it even got really funny where there was a meta moment where one of the cast members says, this did not happen, which sort of makes sense for the movie as a whole. But there were also a couple of things that I feel they should have done. There was a great deal of Motley Crue's history that we didn't see. The fact that we didn't get anything in regards to the relationship of Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson, that was a massive thing that happened in his career. We also didn't get the greatest depiction of Mick Mars' situation. I really did not like the way they talked about him and his disease that he has. It was really glossed over. I personally did not get what we wanted because it's a very serious condition that he has, and the fact that it was only told to you in a matter of maybe 2 minutes, or maybe even less than that, really didn't do a good service for him. I was very upset with that. And there were also a whole bunch of things that I wanted to see that we didn't get, like the fact that these guys were so out of control and so crazy that they were even booted off their concert tours. There was a point in time where they even got into a physical fist fight with Eddie Van Halen and almost got into a crazy fight with Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons from Kiss. I would have loved to have actually seen these guys actually getting booted off their concert tours for just being so crazy and outrageous. So at the end of the day, I was very upset with how this film turned out, and considering the fact that Netflix just made a film like Roma that got so many nominations at this past Oscars, it was just so sad to see them really go backwards, especially considering that right now we are in the golden age of the music biopic. We may not be getting as many as I would like to see, but in the past couple of years we've gotten some truly great ones. And also considering the fact that this is pretty much the very first biopic that features a band in the world of hard rock and heavy metal, I would love to see so many more of these. I think that we should have a Guns N' Roses biopic, a Metallica biopic, an Ozzy Osbourne biopic, and let me tell you guys, to be honest with you, we are way overdue for a Kurt Cobain and Nirvana biopic. It's gotta happen already. And the fact that Motley Crue gets this kind of treatment with a film like The Dirt, it's very disappointing because this music is extremely relevant and really does deserve a great film and a great story to be told. So I would say that if you're a Motley Crue fan or just a music fan in general, this is definitely one that you should give a watch once. Maybe you'll appreciate it more than I did, but it was a real letdown for me. And that is why I'm going to be giving The Dirt a 1.5 stars out of 4. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. Please leave your comments in the box below and let's discuss The Dirt. And I will see you in the next one. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.